So I was thinking we'll listen to the first two.
Yeah.
We'll sing the third. We'll get some ice cream or something.
I'm stuffed.
I know. I'll grab it just something for myself.
Yeah, you do.
All right.
Yeah.
So that'll give us someplace to go.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay, let's do that. Yeah, we'll talk about this album and such. Now, 2014, right?
Yeah.
This is. How long would it take to write this thing?
Long time.
Really? Yeah.
Well, I joined the band in 2007.
2007. Okay.
And that was when Shooting Albatross came out.
Okay.
That I had very limited involvement with.
Okay.
So, and then we played some gigs on the back of that record.
Okay.
So it was maybe a couple of years later that we started putting ideas together for this record.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the whole writing it.
Right.
And which, I was involved with the writing process right through this, including the lyrics, melodies, and what have you.
Okay, so you have composer credits all over this album?
Yeah, yes, but not all of it.
Not all of it, but
Hugh Carter wrote a lot.
Right.
Yeah.
So the what was I going to say about it? So 2007. So was there a 7-year gap between albums then?
Yes, there probably was. When you think about it,
okay.
It sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? But yes, realistically speaking, yeah.
Well, it's still. I mean, we see that all over the place. I mean, it's not. It's obviously if it was, you can't prioritize it as. It can't be your number one priority. We all know this.
Yeah.
What kind of venues were you playing prior to this album coming out? Do you know? I mean,
Well, it was more. It was mostly small festivals like Summer's End.
Okay, so you're already playing Summer's End by the time, or they were?
Yeah, I mean, I remember the first time I played Summer's End.
Right.
We seemed to take an awful long time to get down there, and I remember that because it was such a journey with, and that was. I'm sure that was in the back of this, but it all becomes a bit of a blur.
Right.
We were doing gigs here and there, but we had an album launch for this particular record as well.
Right. Where was that at? Glasgow?
Yeah.
Do you remember the venue?
I think it was Stereo or something like that. It was some basement.
Okay. Like this week, you've come full circle.
Yes, I've come full circle. It's a big stage up.
Yeah.
So that was great. That was the first probably proper gig I did with the band, really, in terms of promoting this.
And did you play this 6-part thing for it?
I think we did.
Yeah.
Yes. When we first started playing it, we played the whole thing.
Okay. Yeah. Because we heard the full thing, and even in 2017 or whatever you played Rozfest.
Yeah, 15 I think it was. 15,
yes. Yeah. So I remember when I met Dennis for the first time at Rozfest, he's like, well, basically we have to play this and thank you, and we're pretty much 60-70% of the gig is right there.
Yeah.
So did you kind of know that this thing was going to be a staple of your
Not really. Do you know when you first started playing these things?
Yeah.
It's a bit like any other band. You're writing this stuff,
right?
And you hope that people like it. And then you start playing it live, and it turns out people like it. Obviously, subsequently, as you know, we only play parts of this song because it is far too long. We've got other things to play. Obviously, we've got the Honeybee record after this.
Right. Well, this is a great album. So basically, that album came out, I think, during the pandemic. The Honeybee album. Is that about right, or just before it?
Yes, it was finished before the pandemic and put on ice just a little bit.
Okay.
I remember going to the rehearsal room and signing a lot of CDs for people that had pre-bought. And we were all there with our masks and our gel and all that. So that must have been during it,
during it. And that was your first vinyl? Is that right?
Yes, that was indeed my first ever time in vinyl.
It's a pretty album, I have to say, with the color that goes with the album cover.
Yeah.
And that was a success, right? That was a good choice. You guys did that, right?
Yes.
I know it's a big expense.
It's a big expense, but you know what? You only get one chance to do these things.
Yeah.
If you just wanted to do it properly, and
exactly.
Yeah, it was very much a kind of full booner, as they say.
What's that one?
Full booner. The
full burner. Okay.
Full booner. Like an Indian, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Nice.
All or nothing. So
sure.
Yeah, there were various different. What did you call it? There were CDs, there were albums, there were prints to buy, lyrics to buy as well.
Right.
Handwritten lyrics by me.
Really?
Yes.
How's your handwriting?
It's awful.
Is it? Okay.
Oh yeah, it's not terribly great, but I'm left-handed. It just.
Oh yeah,
you know,
smudge. It's a whole smudge problem with a thing.
Dreadful, but you just do it. So.
Was there any? There's always talk about how some places they made people turn right-handed. Was there ever any of that?
Any what? Sorry.
They ever try and make you be right-handed?
No, my father did. My father was left-handed, but they made him right-handed. The funny thing was when I was.
Oh, hold on. This is the part. Let's try and sing this.
Sing this.
I don't know if I remember the lyrics, but let's try it because we kind of ran out, and I was like, oh, I should get the lyrics because these lyrics are a little bit odd.
They are. That's me. Here.
Yep. Finding and rewinding yourself. 3 animate shades of colors lost. A dusty needle recourse in a long forgotten groove. Is it? I don't know. I practiced for an hour. All I can say is I'm not tone deaf, but I'm not a singer either. Fighting and rewriting yourself. Turn over to the page that makes more sense. An evening soccer to save for a heart that yearns for more. So a sucker I had to look up, by the way.
Yeah.
It is a word. It's spelled S-U-C-C-O-R. It was.
It's like you and me.
Oh yeah.
British spelling.
Okay. Oh, what's this? I don't know this there.
Right. This is
something with
leaving from a vantage street.
Right. And some old fashioned thoughts. Okay. Here we go. Third. What's this one? You're not gonna sing it for me?
I will.
Oh, is it? This is it?
All right. Oh, sorry.
That's fine. Let's switch off on. You do the first winding and writing. I'll do the second, and then we'll do the third and fourth together.
Right. Okay. Sorry, I didn't realize. I thought I was expecting that bloke to start singing.
Yeah. That bloke.
That wee guy.
That wanker. That guy is unbelievable.
You and me.
This is you. Right. Then I'll go second. Finding and rewinding yourself. Finding and rewinding yourself. That's tough for me. That's a little high for me. Alright, here we go. Finding and rewinding yourself. You don't do it anymore, but on the album, it's there. Finding and rewinding yourself. Yeah, I know, right? It's a great album. I remember when I first heard this song. I'm like, this is so weird. It's like, where's this? I'm looking for what do you call that guitar? The slide.
Oh, the
pedal steel. I'm like, what is this? Why do I love this song? You know, because that usually turns me off.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Because it got the country flavor.
Yeah.
You know, but of course I think it's the. Is this another one? Oh, no, we got a little time.
Yeah.
It's a little bit like. It's a little more complicated than a typical country song. I'm not here to bash country music, just what I'm saying. It's really beautiful. It's such a great melody.
Well, thank you very much, Mark.
It really is.
Very much appreciated.
Oh. This is a nice, I like how it comes out of this too. Here we go again. Finding and rewinding yourself. I'm never quite sure which way to go. A little higher. Yeah. Finding and rewinding yourself. go. Got a green light. Finding and rewinding yourself. I think it's, you know, as I've tried to sing some of these songs, I realize how difficult it is. It's a lot easier for people listening at home. That it's a lot easier when you have the guide vocal. You know, I'll call it a guide vocal. I don't think it's really the right term, but when you're when you try and sing with something, and then I tried to sing with a karaoke version. Yes. It was very scary, but I had you for a guide vocal, so that was much better.
Okay.
So that was awesome and fun, and it's a great song, and so is the album is great. The Honeybee is great. Yeah. So should we plug in the other albums? I have to say I'm very ignorant of the other stuff because there's only 2 albums on Bandcamp. Is there any like drama with the other? Are they owned by different members or anything like that?
No,
or just that they haven't come out?
No. Okay. I think there's certainly never been any animosity between.
Yeah.
You know, when I first joined the band, Hugh Montgomery and Hugh Carter.
Yeah.
We're still in the band. Right. And Hugh left a couple of years later, and Hugh Carter. Right. Has only been gone a few years, but certainly there's never been any animosity. We all got on well. And it's a different band. I've seen Dennis at their gigs, in Kinross, so I know that everybody's getting along. Of course, yeah. And Hugh Carter has had a series of gigs just recently. He's got a project called Glenn Brielle, and he's been promoting that CD. Awesome. With a few gigs. He's a good friend of ours. Right. Doing very well. So he's still writing songs and doing his thing. It's all good. That's awesome. And speaking of writing songs, I assume that there's nothing imminent, but something's in the works. Yes, things are very much in the works. We've got loads of ideas, and it's just we've been doing a few gigs this year. We've had to keep rehearsing, keeping the songs fresh that we're playing live. Right. And in the meantime, putting together the new stuff. Right. So again, it'll be a kind of mix of full-on prog stuff. Okay. And with acoustic, folky type feel mixed in as well, I guess. Right. And probably a few surprises and things I don't know about yet. So. Oh. Well, and I know that Dennis was trying to talk you into playing a song that you kind of probably brought to the band, but nobody else even, maybe they've heard it but they don't know it or anything like that. Yeah. I mean, it was the same with Thank You. It was a song that I wrote years ago. Yeah, it's a beautiful song. And we just redid it. Ooh. He's good. We're good. We just redid it for the Abel Ganz album, if you like. Right. So did you run out of names? You had 7 years to write that album. You couldn't come up with a name for the thing? Yes. I know. I think it was like a kind of new start, I guess. That maybe sounds a bit dramatic or grand, but just the fact that we had a kind of stable lineup. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. Whole, new people. The whole thing, including me. I was new on board. So cool. Yeah. All right, we're here. Thanks for that. Pleasure. All right.